Welcome back to Return to Evolution, where we're going through the legendary tutorials of Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution and seeing how we can apply them to Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Today, Chapter 4, Recovering from a Fall. This chapter consists of 3 sections: 4A, Recovering from a Fall, 4B, Using Exact Recovery, and 4C, Recovering from a Beatdown Attack. 4A, Recovering from a Fall. Recommended rank up to 1st Dan. What it is. This tutorial wants you to know how to do the essential art of quick rise, which is performed by pressing punch, kick and guard simultaneously at the exact moment that you hit the ground. It also wants you to know that you can add either up or down to these 3 buttons to include side roll in your quick rise animation. If done successfully, you should be able to avoid additional offense from your opponent, and in some situations retaliate and counterattack with something of your own. Why it's important? Knowing how to get up quickly and safely is essential in Virtua Fighter, due to the fact that the opponent can do down attacks, illegitimate combos, perform down throws, and generally gain offensive and positional advantage from a knockdown. You'll need to know multiple different ways of getting up to combat this, but being able to quick rise effectively is one of the first big buffs you can give your defensive game in order to prevent the opponent from taking advantage of you. And it does take some awareness and practice to get it right. How it teaches you? This exercise just asks you to recover after falling down. The opponent will float you into the air with a launcher, and you just need to do that quick rise, punch, kick and guard simultaneously as you hit the ground. It'll also accept the side roll quick rise commands here as well. How to replicate it? Rather than perfectly recreating this one, we're going to get a little creative here, since the counter in the tutorial plays a big role in letting you know the difference between success and failure, and there's no counter in Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown for this. So rather than just having the dummy attack you, we've set the dummy to hit you with a big floaty launcher, followed by a heavy down attack. In this instance, we've got Jeffrey doing his knee with forward and kick, followed by his splash, which is any up direction, and punch. So record those 2 attacks quite close together, and then when you play it back, take the first hit, and then try to do that quick rise out of it on landing. Don't forget to guard as you're getting up. This way, it's nice and obvious whether or not your quick rise was effective, based on whether or not there's a Jeffrey on top of you. A successful quick rise in this scenario into a guard should result in Jeffrey's splash either being blocked or missing completely. At a low level, it's common to see players successfully actually do the quick rise, but then forget to guard, which will often result in a down attack still hitting them while they're standing. So this additional step helps form a good beginner habit on top of the strict-ish timing. 4B, using exact recovery, recommended rank 1st Dan or above. What it is. 4B wants you to understand that there's also damage benefits to exact recovery, since quick rise and the impact of some throws can result in less damage or even no damage at all in some instances. Why it teaches you this. This is one of those tricks that's difficult to perfect, but something that you should absolutely make a habit of trying. There's no downside to getting this wrong, but if you time it right, you can save yourself some crucial pixels on your life bar, so there's no reason not to try it. How it teaches you? In this one, Wolf hits you with his famous giant swing, and it's your job to hit punch, kick and guard together at the exact right moment that you hit the ground, and this will result in you getting up quickly and taking less damage. How to replicate it? This one can translate directly from the Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution tutorial into Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Select Wolf as the dummy and record a perfect giant swing. You can tell when you've landed the perfect timing because there's a camera cut in the animation. It's not essential that you do the perfect throw here. The exact recovery drill does work on both types of giant swing, but it does make the recovery timing a little trickier, as it's not always easy to time the exact moment that your character hits the ground, especially with the added distraction of a camera change. So it's worth getting used to for both this and other recoverable throws. In the Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution tutorial, you can see that this goes one step further, that the animation actually throws you off the screen entirely, so it's all down to muscle memory. It's also worth going into the position settings here and setting it so that the dummy defaults with their back to the wall, so you're not going to get wall splattered or thrown out the ring when you're practicing this one. Try to exact recover 3 times from this. Don't worry if you struggle to do it consistently. This is more about recognizing when and how you can do it, and always giving it a go when the opportunity arises. 4C, recovering from a beatdown attack. Recommended rank 5th Dan or above. What it is. This is essentially the same recovery exercise as you saw in 4A. However, the beatdown style of attack that sends you towards the ground makes it much harder to be ready for it. In 4A, you were floated into the air, giving you time to see what was happening and prepare for your exact recover. In a real match, it's more likely that you'll hit the ground from a lower height, either at the end of a combo or as a result of one of these beatdown attacks, where the opponent may be trying to give themselves a better follow-up opportunity. Why it's important? This is probably the strictest timing exercise in this chapter, so if you can be aware and consistent-ish with this one, the others should be a piece of cake. Again, it's more about knowing what to look for and always trying the escape, rather than being perfect with it, which should hopefully come with time. Beatdowns tend to leave you close to the enemy, and opponents will often use this as an attempt to perform a down attack or a down throw, so being able to get out of these fake setups can save you from taking unnecessary damage. How it teaches you this? Again, the opponent floats you into the air here, but after they hit you, they'll slam you down towards the ground, and it's your job to recover from that 3 times with very tight exact recovery timing. How to replicate it. Here we've set up Akira to perform a simple floaty move as Yoho into an easy to execute beatdown, the Honte Goku Fuko, followed by either a low attack or a down attack to fish for bonus damage. You can also set this up with characters like Aoi and Go to follow up with down throws if you'd like. You want to let the dummy launch you, and then you hit punch, kick and guard simultaneously just as you're impacting the ground from the beatdown attack. Depending on what you're anticipating, a side roll, a sidestep, an attack or a guard can be useful to help here as a follow-up if you want to punish them for being greedy. Get familiar with the typical combos that your opponent can be throwing out here, especially if there's a beatdown attack, so you have every chance to get out of harm's way. It's not covered here, but as an aside, if you see the combo counter in dojo mode turn green when you're doing combos, this is an indicator of a window where the opponent could technically be doing an escape just like this. So sometimes you may even need to be aware of a recovery mid-combo, not just at the end. It never hurts to just tap punch, kick and guard in time with the floor hits on defense and try your luck. And that's it for another week. If you like this one, be sure to check out Q for Quick Rise in my A to Z of Virtua Fighter series, link in the description, where I explain all of the different options for getting up in Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. I'll see you next week for Chapter 5.